All right, here we have Parshas Va'era. We'll start off with the Dvar Malchut today. And it's talking about the Jews going out of Egypt. And it begins, the Torah portion begins with Moses receiving a message from God, an answer to the question that he asked at the end of last week's Torah portion. The end of last week's Torah portion, Moses asks a question to God. God, why is it that you're torturing the Jewish people? Why are you torturing the Jewish people? God, Moses asked God at the end of last week's Torah portion. Why are we torturing the Jews? And not only that, even more, the Jews suffered enough 210 years. They've been in Egyptian bondage. And since I came, things only got worse. You told me to go to Paro with all sorts of signs and miracles and take the Jews out. And I went to the Jews and I told them, that's it. God told me I'm taking you out. The Jews got really happy. And then things got even worse than they were. The whole 210 years has never been as bad as now. And God says in the end of last week's Torah portion, don't ask, it's going to be good. You're going to go get out with big miracles. And now Moses could have said, okay, listen, I heard that before. You told me that before. I don't know, can I trust you? And now God is answering the question. What does he say? God said, I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in one aspect of me, a lower aspect called El Shaddai. Kael Shaddai. I appeared to but therefore, to you, I'm going to appear in a higher name of God. Yud Kei Vav Kei. Name of God. So the Rebbe asked a couple questions. First of all, what does it mean, therefore? I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in a lower name. Therefore, I'm going to appear to you in a higher name. It should say, I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in a lower name. But to you, what does it mean, therefore? Like it has some connection to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The message that God is giving to Moses is that what Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob received, that's like nothing compared to what I'm going to reveal to you now. But that's not the language that's used in the Torah. The language that's used in the Torah is that I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in a lower level. Therefore, I'm going to appear to you in a higher level. It seems that there's some sort of a connection to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If so, if it's a connection, then what do we have to suffer for 210 years for? It's just an outcome from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is that we're going to get a higher level. God, you revealed yourself to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They didn't have to go through terrible suffering like we did. True, they suffered, but okay, in their merit of their suffering. So now we should be able to receive a higher level. That's what it seems to imply here. Lochen, therefore. But on the other hand, that's not answering Moses' question. Moses' question is, why did Jewish people have to suffer so long? Why? And the answer that God gives is because you're going to receive something totally different. If it's totally different, then why use the word lochen? Here, let's go. Let's read inside. But in the beginning of our Torah portion, Va'era el Avraham el Yitzchak Yaakov, in the name El Shaddai, but the name Yud Kei Vav Kei, I did not make known to them. My pointer over here. Lochen, therefore, say to the Jewish people, I am God, etc. We have to understand. Aleph, regarding to the content of what we just said, that God appeared only in this low name of El Shaddai to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and he didn't appear the name Yud Kei Vav Kei. But now, to the Jewish people, there will be revealed now this new aspect of truth, of reality to the Jewish people, this name Yud Kei Vav Kei, like it's explained in a lot of other Maimorim, as if so, the word lochen, therefore, is not the right word to use over here. but it's the word that the Torah uses. Why does it always say, therefore? It should have said, but, right, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I appeared a lower name, but to you, I'm going to have a higher name. Why does it say, therefore? This implies like an outcome and a totza'ah and a result from what came before, namely that the Jewish people said that, and that the Jewish people are going to receive a level of godliness because I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because, and that's the opposite of what the message is here. The language that's used conveys an opposite message from what God wanted to say. The language that's used is that because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they received this level, you're going to receive a higher level. And that doesn't answer Moses' question. Moses wants to know, I don't care about what Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did. I want to know, why did the Jewish people suffer? And God should have said, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they only received a lower level, but because you suffered, but you're going to get a higher level. That's what the language should have been used. But it's a new thing in Chadash. Shalom, it's a law that wasn't by Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I didn't make known to them. Number two, even more, the whole entire idea of this Torah portion is to tell us that there's a higher level that's being revealed to the Jewish people. That was never revealed to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But the name of the Torah portion, the very name of the Torah portion, indicates exactly the opposite. The call is called Vo'era. Vo'era means, and I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is not talking about the new revelation that's God going to make. This is talking about the old one. This refers to how God revealed himself to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Namely, the Torah portion is talking about the revelation of godliness that wasn't by the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So why call the name of the portion of the Torah portion on what the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob received? Benir Lomer, it seems that maybe we can say Shekib and Shenikrim Avot, because they're called Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Kamudgash, like it's experienced, like Rashi said, they're called the Avot, they're called the fathers. That Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, a father, the fathers of Judaism, a father is higher than the sons. They're the source. Yeshbam Maili Yatera, so therefore they have a bigger advantage than the sons did, and revealed to them, and that wasn't revealed to, even though that the sons got a higher level, but the fathers, they're the basis of a call. This is a very basic thing in Judaism. It's the what is it, the in the Ten Commandments. So honor your mother and father, right, is one of the Ten Commandments. You have to honor your father. What do you have to command, a thing like that? Because naturally a person feels that his parents existed for him. My parents were like, they were the seed, I'm the tree. My parents were like a preliminary stage, but I'm the main thing. I'm the main thing. My parents, they worked, they suffered. It was all for my sake. Judaism comes along and says, no, it's not so. It's not so. Your parents were much more important than you are. Your parents were much higher and more close to the source than you are. You're just like a branch from them. They're the tree. It's not that they're the seed and you're the tree that grows out. The parents, they're the tree, and you're just like a little branch that comes out of the fruits from the tree or something. Right? So the main thing is the main thing is the parents. So maybe we can say that's the point. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the revelation they got, that revelation is called the fathers. That gave birth to us. Oh, maybe their revelation is higher. And even more, Shemailas Avos, the highness of the fathers, they're even higher than Moses. That the Moses said, I am God. Al Yadoba means that Moses was the revelation of this new name of God. Yud Kei Vav Kei told the Jewish people, like it's explained, that God said to Moses, God said to Moses, I regret, I miss those that are gone and that they're not here anymore. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yeshli litonen. God said, I am mourning. I'm sad that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they passed away. And the harba pamim, why? Because many times I revealed to them, and the name El Shaddai, v'lo amruli, they didn't say, what is your real name? V'ata amarta mashamo, and you asked me, what is your name? And also the Avram, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they didn't have any questions about me. And you said, Lama Ariota, why are you harming the Jewish people? God said, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they're a lot better than you, Moses. I promised them all sorts of things, and I didn't come across with anything. I said that the children are going to be like the stars of the sky, and they're going to get the land of Israel, and they didn't get any of it, and they didn't ask any questions. And you now, Moses, you're coming with questions, right? You're questioning my intentions. God says to Moses, you're questioning me. How can it possibly be so? If so, the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they are in attitude, they're higher than Moses. And not only that, they're the fathers, they began everything. Ad Kedikach, so much that it says that he, the fact that God appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, this is the cause that there could be a revelation now by us. Like a Ab Zochel Ben, like it says that a father gives merit to the son. It's a Mishnah. Where is it in Edios? What the fathers do is a sign for the children. Edios, right? Avram, I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Therefore, I'm appearing to you. Okay, good. It doesn't exactly explain why. It doesn't really give an answer to Moses' question. Moses' question was, why are the Jewish people suffering? And God says, I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in these lower names. Therefore, you're going to get the higher name. How does this answer the question? We'll see. But it does, what the Rebbe did is he did answer a little bit this word of therefore. Therefore. In other words, the revelation you're going to get now, the suffering of the Jewish people, is not a new thing totally. It's not a new thing. This is another step in what Judaism is. And therefore, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were preparing for this step. And in their merit, you're going to get this higher revelation. And also, there has to be the suffering in Egypt. We'll see what this is. Okay, we'll also have to see what is this idea also of revelation of God. What is it so important that God should be revealed? What does it mean? God being revealed. After a person dies, so God is revealed to him. What does it have to be God revealed in the world? So maybe we can just I say, break the ice of this question by saying that that's the whole reason God created the world. God created the world so that there should be challenges, and that through these challenges, we can actually decide to do what God wants. And as we can reveal God in our free will. That's a new thing. Before the world was created, there was no such thing as free will. The angels automatically did what God wanted. There was no choice. And by God creating a world, God made a thing where there was free choice. And when a Jew uses his free choice, so to speak, it's a thing that God himself can't do. God hasn't got a desire to do bad or a desire to do good. And the desire to do bad is much more enticing and convincing than to do good. And nevertheless, he overpowers all of his nature. And there's no such thing by God or by the angels or by the upper worlds. Only in this physical world is there such a thing. And God wanted that. That's why he gave the Torah, told us what's good and what's bad. Why God wants it is impossible to know, because we're dealing with God here. We're dealing with the creator of the universe that existed before we existed, and he's creating us all the time. So this is incomprehensible. But we're just dealing with the facts. That's what the facts are, right? It's like you don't get a doctor ever saying, in the class, excuse me, professor, why does the brain have to be in the head? Why can't you put the brain where the heart is? And the heart can be in the head. Why not? Then it'll be easier for the blood to flow down, right? And the brain will be more protected. You can protect it inside of this. You make a little, maybe the sternum can be a little bit thicker, like the skull and the skull. But he get kicked out of school. That's a stupid thing to ask. That's just the way things are. The same thing is here. God created the world. That's the way it is. That's the way things are. The fact is God created the world, and he's creating the world right now, and God somehow or other gets pleasure from what we're doing. But the point of the matter is that the whole question is ridiculous, right? If we look at it from our point of view, from our point of view, from our point of view, doesn't make any sense that there's God and God creates the world. I'm here I am. This is reality. And that's the whole point of Judaism, to show that this is not real reality. We're seeing a very small view, a myopic, tremendously, how do you say, the confused view of what reality is. And if this reality that we see here is valuable to us, real reality, what a human being really is, what love really is, what honesty really is, right? What victory is, what beauty really is, to feel is only found in this world. In the upper worlds, after a person dies, he realizes that what he thought in this world, all the ideas of his egotistical way of looking at the world was wrong, because he realizes that after a person dies, he realizes he was a creation, that God is creating him, that he's not really the boss at all. And then you feel the creator a little bit, but you can't make the creator happy. In this world, we can make the creator happy. It's a new reality, what we're talking about, what reality really is. Nobody likes to be fooled. In this world, we're all being fooled by the world. And God is revealing little by little. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they were the first ones to break out of this idea of selfishness, to feel the creator in the creation. And the Jewish people had to suffer in order to reveal it more. But that's the whole idea of revealing God, means not to reveal spiritual, to reveal that this world is not important, that the upper worlds are all that matters. Exactly the opposite. Revealing God is to reveal how important this world is and why God is creating it, and how infinitely important we are in God's eyes. Infinitely more than what we can imagine. So let's explain this. And so what does the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob got to do with this? We'll see. A beer, it's explained like this. It's explained in Chassidus that the revelation of the name of God, which that's the essence name of God, as Shema Etzem, Shema Maforish, Shema Miyuchad, this essence name of God, this is the level of godliness which is above the world, was when at Mount Sinai. When God gave the Torah, then he really revealed his total essence. It says then there was the raising of the dead at Mount Sinai. At Mount Sinai, there was no death anymore. Death was removed from the world at Mount Sinai. It was pure godliness, like it was when Adam, before he sinned with the tree. That was at Mount Sinai. Pure godliness was revealed. And therefore, Eitzla Avos by Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that they were before the giving of the Torah. It says, Va'era, God only appeared to them in this name, El Shaddai. Dargas, a level of godliness which is relevant to the world. But Shmi Hashem, but the name of God, the purpose for creation, which was revealed in the Torah, Lo nadati lehem, I did not make known to them. Eitzel Bnei Yisrael, by the Jewish people, that they got, when they received the Torah, after they left Egypt, Nidgala was revealed, Shem Havaya. At Mount Sinai, they saw what reality really is. Komemshech, like it says, Katuv, like it says, Amor Bnei Yisrael, say to the Jewish people, I am God, I have taken you out of Egypt. Lakachti etchem li, and I have made you for me for a people. V'yadatem, and you will know that I am God. Hine, behold, Af, even though that the Avos, that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they were before the giving of the Torah. Hare, behold, Nosaf Lakach, in addition to this, that Abraham, it says that he did do the whole Torah before it was given. He sensed the Torah. I mean, the Torah is before the world, right? So the Torah is ultimate truth. The Torah shows why God is creating the world, why the world is so important. Abraham sensed this, and it says that Abraham was able to do all the commandments spiritually before they were given. It's known that by means of Abraham was the beginning of the giving of the Torah. Like it's explained in the mitzvah circumcision. That's when Abraham was the first to receive an actual physical commandment, that's circumcision. That Abraham, like that was the same commandment. The circumcision was an example of how commandments are going to be after the giving of the Torah. Sha'al Yadam, that by means of them was drawn down holiness in physical things. In this world, that were done the commandments. Like God said, Sim na yadcha tachat yorechi. Like it says, when Abraham made Eliezer, his servant, swear that he would go and find a wife for Yitzchak. So Abraham said, I want you to swear, take an oath. Where did he take an oath on? Oaths have to be, an oath from the Torah is taken on a Torah, a Sefer Torah. That's why in the American system, I don't know how they do it other places, they swear on a Bible. Right? Because an oath, they took it from Judaism, an oath has to be made on a holy thing, on a pair of tefillin, on a Sefer Torah. In those days, in Abraham, there was no holy things. Nothing in the world was holy, any physical thing. Only one thing was the circumcision. The circumcision was the only thing in the world that was holy. There was that showed in it the purpose of creation. That was a commandment. And so therefore Abraham said, put your hand under my circumcision and make an oath. The Fisha Nishba, because a person that takes an oath has to take something of holiness, a mitzvah. I know, namely, Shachirish, the whole novelty of the giving of the Torah and drawing down godliness into the world, which is joining the upper worlds with the lower worlds, like we found out in the giving of the Torah. In the giving of the Torah, when God gave the Torah, it negated this first decree. And then the upper worlds came down to the lower worlds, and the lower worlds came up to the upper worlds. And this began with the commandment of the circumcision of Abraham. Even though the joining of the upper worlds and the lower worlds, which began in the giving of the Torah, began with circumcision, this was relevant to a physical limb in the body of Abraham Avinu, that Abraham Avinu was, we call a vehicle for godliness, but we can say that this is hinted at the connection between how it affects in the world. You could say, one second, nowadays we put on tefillin, we take a skin of an animal, which the animal has nothing to do with godliness. I mean, it's an animal, it's a part of the creation. And we make from that parchments, and that becomes a commandment. We take a physical part of the world and use it as a commandment. That's revealing God in the world. And that began, the first time it happened was with Abraham. God told Abraham to make a physical mark in his physical body. Says the Rebbe, one second, that's not exactly the same thing. Abraham was a holy person. Tefillin are taken from an animal. It's nothing to do with holiness. We make the animal holy. That's a commandment. And Abraham, his circumcision was done in his body. His body was already holy. It was Abraham's body. It says, okay, but nevertheless, this is already hinting at the fact that God wants to be revealed in the physical world. A physical thing, chefetz tamila. And this was hinted at, the fact that it was made in the physical world was especially stressed when Abraham made Eliezer, his servant, swear on the milah. He had to put his hand on the place of the circumcision, and that was called a thing of holiness. And when did he put this? When did he make this oath? Regarding the the marriage of Yitzchak and Rivka. Yitzchak and Rivka, this is the unity of what we call ma and ban. Do you remember we learned that in Chassidut? We learned these are two different aspects of godliness. Ma is taking the name of God, which is 4 letters, Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey, which is the numerical value of 26, and filling up the letters phonetically, so you come out, so it increases the amount, either 45, that's Ma, or you can increase the amount of the letters, the value of the letters to be 52. In any case, Ma is talking about godliness that comes from above to below, and Ban is the ability for us to elevate God from below to above. These are 2 powers of God, Ma and Ban. Ma represents Yitzchak, and Ban is Rivka. Shehu, this is the whole idea, general thing of the service of doing Torah and the commandments. But by means of this, Nasha, there's made a drawing down of holiness in the physical world. By means of Eliezer, the servant of Abraham, that even though regarding to the shidduch, the marriage of Yitzchak, Abraham said to Eliezer, Beni, my son is holy, and you are Oror. You're not holy. You're connected more to the world. You are not, you're more connected to curse than blessing. Therefore, you cannot marry my. Okay, but nevertheless, the marriage of Yitzchak and Rivka was made by means of this Eliezer, that he was part of the world. This stresses the fact that you can transform darkness to light. Take Eliezer, who's part of the world, and transform him to godliness. By means of this, there is made the joining of the upper worlds and the lower worlds in the ultimate completion. That's the idea. That's the whole idea of commandments. That's what the Rebbe says, commandments. So true, the Jewish people, by means of being in Egypt and getting out of Egypt, they received this essence name of God, which was revealed to them at Mount Sinai. But this whole process was begun. Who broke through, who made the first breakthrough was Abraham when he had the circumcision. He revealed pure godliness in a physical thing, just like it was revealed in Mount Sinai. It was a mitzvah, a commandment. This is transforming darkness to light. And this was also even further stressed by the fact that Abraham used the circumcision to make the marriage between his daughter, his son, and Rivka, by means of the servant, by means of Eliezer, who was part of the world. And to Eliezer, therefore, he became transformed to a messenger of Abraham, of God, by means of what by swearing on this bris milah. So we see that it was physical. The physical world started to change with Abraham. Kevin, since that Avram, since that God appeared to Abraham and El Shaddai, this was relevant, especially in the commandment of bris milah, that Abraham in Parshas Milah said, God said, before he gave Abraham the circumcision, he said, I am El Shaddai. This began the whole idea of the giving of the Torah. Therefore, we have to say that's included in this also the beginning of all the revelations of God, even this highest revelation of God, which was Yud Kei Vav Kei, that was revealed in Mount Sinai. Nevertheless, it says, I appeared to Abraham, and my name, Yud Kei Vav Kei, I did not give to them. Why? Since this was the mitzvah's milah bilvad, that God revealed his essence, which can only be revealed in the physical world, but it was only revealed in circumcision to Abraham. One of the explanations is that the explanation of this name, Yud Kei Vav Kei, which was given at Mount Sinai, was joining the upper worlds and this physical world. This is drawing down godliness in the world. And even though that the name Yud Kei Vav Kei is totally above the world, this is the aspect of God that was before the world. Since that the name Yud Kei Vav Kei is unlimited, and because of the revelation of this light, which was unlimited, is drawn down also below into the physical world. Like the question is always asked, God created the world. Who created God? Obvious question. This is going on the assumption that everything has to be created. It has to be that there's no creator. There's no creator. Because if there is such a thing as a creator, then obviously the creator is only a creator. He can't be created by anything. And if he's created by something before him, the creator has created something before him. So that thing also has to be created. So if so, there's no end. Was there a beginning creator that had no creator before him? Was there such a thing like that? So we say that's the God of Israel, the God of Israel. But even more, the God of Israel, he's not just the prime mover that he created. He was at the top of this big chain. We're saying that he's creating the whole chain all the time also. The whole entire business is being created by God. But that's only the outside of the picture. The inside of the picture is why he's creating it, to reveal the purpose of creation in the creation. That's what Abraham started. Not just that there is a creator and that he's creating everything all the time, but that he's creating everything all the time for a purpose. Everything is very important to the creator. If we say God is the prime mover, so it means that he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He just, we're lucky to be created and just don't ask questions. But no, we're saying no. Judaism says not that we're true. We're being lucky to be created, but we must ask questions. We have to ask the question, why? Why are we being created? What is there a reason? What's going on over here? Why is God creating us? That God is infinitely close and he cares about us very much. Judaism is based on questions. We have to ask questions. It's not based on the answers, though. If you don't get an answer, that shouldn't dissuade you. But the whole big thing is a big, amazing question. If there's no questions, then you're not interested. It shows you're not interested. Well, the whole going out of Egypt, the whole Haggadah of Passover is based on questions. Haman says that by Abraham was drawing down holiness below, only in one commandment, but the body of Abraham in the one limit in the body of Abraham, one limb in the body of Abraham, but the world itself, there was no holiness yet. Therefore, it wasn't recognized the true revelation of God, my name of God, I didn't make known to them. So therefore, Abraham began godliness. He started it. And therefore, God said, I can continue revealing more and more godliness until it's revealed in the whole world. That's the idea of Moshiach, that everything in the world will shout out, I am being created for a purpose. Everything. That this is a power which is unlimited. But this is the beginning of the revelation of God, which is in Mount Torah, namely by Abraham. Unbelievable, but this power of infinite revelation that by means of it was drawn down below, this is not revealed by being drawn into the world. So God revealed himself to Abraham, but it was only to Abraham. And it was only one limb, one part of the body of Abraham. But at Mount Sinai, God showed how it's going to be revealed in the whole world. According to this, now we can understand what it says, that the name of God, I did not make known to them. What does it mean? I did not make known. Not lo shahodati, not that I did not present it to them. It's not that I didn't show them the name of God. Lo nodati, I didn't make it known to them. It was not recognized by them. That's what it wants to say. It was, I revealed myself to them, but it wasn't accepted by them. Lo nikarti. What does it mean? Shehachisaron hu rak b'hakara b'izgalos. That this idea of revealing, God being revealed totally, that was what was lacking. Totally. But the idea that God was being revealed did begin at the giving, at the mitzvah of milah, of circumcision. So at circumcision, God did begin to reveal this name Yud Kei Vav Kei, but it just now was not revealed totally. Lo nodati, I didn't reveal the whole entire thing. Just a little bit of hint to the name of what God is. Even deeper, Shenosaf, in addition to the fact that God began to connect his essence to the world with the commandment of Milah, there is also by Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob something which is even higher. What is it? Achidush, the novelty of Chibur Elyonim, joining the upper worlds in the world. Joining all of the upper worlds, the creator of the universe in the world. The worlds were upper worlds and lower worlds. Until it says that there was a decree by the creator that the upper worlds would remain holy and the lower worlds would remain mundane. In other words, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in order to get holiness, they had to be very holy people. They had to be very pure. They had to really refine themselves and not to be connected to the world, that the world didn't disturb them. In order to be godliness in the world, they had to be a very, very high level of integrity and purity, courage, joy. They had to be very high, pure people. Therefore, it said that the upper worlds didn't come down to the lower worlds, and the lower worlds didn't go up to the upper worlds. In other words, the upper worlds were reserved only for holy people like Abraham that could elevate themselves. And the lower worlds were for everybody else. When God gave the Torah, this all changed. But Nasa, and there was a joining of the upper worlds and the lower worlds. Right? What does it say in the Ten Commandments? What does it say? Don't kill, don't steal. That's all God has to say. The highest of the highest aspects of godliness at Mount Sinai were revealed in the lowest of the lowest aspects of the world: murder, rape, the stealing, thievery. Of a mitzad dargas elokus shalamayla, which is above the revealed the world, lo shayach gezerah behefsek bein elyonim v'tachtonim. But by the essence of God, it's all one. There's no division whatsoever. Shenimsa be'elyonim v'tachtonim b'shaba. God, His essence is here in the world. I mean, before God gave the Torah, He was still creating the world, and God is creating the world. There's only one God. The same God that's creating the upper world is creating the lower worlds. So by God's essence, there's no difference between the upper worlds and lower worlds. But when it comes down to us, there's a big difference because God's essence is not revealed to us. The whole novelty of the giving of the Torah is that the essence of God could be revealed in this physical world. That in this physical world where there's a big distinction between the upper worlds and the lower worlds, is the essence of God was revealed here. From this, it's understood also revealing regarding to the revelation of the name Yud Kei Vav Kei to the Jewish people on Mount Sinai. And more than Bnei Israel speak to the Jewish people, I am God, I took them from Egypt that they should be my people, and they will know that I am God. That the whole novelty of the Jewish people in the world, the whole novelty of the Mount Sinai and the Jewish people was that the Jewish people did something brand new in order to receive this revelation, that they worked in the world. They did doing the Torah and the commandments, that's what joined the upper worlds and the lower worlds. Although even before that, there is the fact of the Jewish people, which is above the Torah. That says the thought of the Jewish people is before everything, even before the Torah. And that's the level of the Avos. We see a very interesting thing in Judaism, that the Torah is very, very strict. It has very, very exact laws, and the punishments are very severe. And especially, even if it doesn't say what the punishment is, when a Jew goes against the Torah, he's going against God. He's going against God's will. How can anything be fixed up by that? God says, don't eat milk and meat together. Don't light fire on Shabbat. And a Jew does it. He doesn't care. He lights fire on Shabbat, and he eats milk and meat together, and he cooks the milk and meat on Shabbat together with the fire that he lit on Shabbat, doing sins all over the place, right? And all over the place. So that's it. He's finished, right? I mean, he went against God. That's an infinite blemish. He says, no, it's not so. If a Jew repents and he says, God, I'm sorry, and he commits, that's it. He's free. No punishment. No punishment. How can that be? It says because the Jews are higher than the Torah. The essence of the Jews is higher than the Torah. The thought of the Jewish people came before everything, even before the Torah. That's why God gave the Torah to the Jews, right? The Jews, the idea of the Jews was already there. That this is the whole idea of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jews before the Torah. This is the source and the essence of the Jewish people. This began with Abraham. That Abraham was one. He was the beginning of those who believed in God. He was the one who revealed what the Jewish soul really is. Shepatach, he was the one that opened up this channel, the power of faith and self-sacrifice, which comes from the essence of the Jewish soul. The novelty of this name of Yud Kei Vav Kei, giving of the Torah, was that essence of the Jewish people, which that's the level of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and only they were privy to this level because they reached this tremendously high levels of self-sacrifice. But at Mount Sinai, this level was drawn down and Bechinas Giluyim revealed to everybody. But Kokos and Nefesh, even how it is in the physical world, everyone in this world, in order to bring about in the world, doing Torah and commandments, revealed godliness in this world. And in more detail, we'll talk about, God willing, tomorrow.